Hi, Tim here with something you haven't seen from me for a while. That's current reads. That's because back in March I was one of the hosts of March Mystery Madness, and I just did a reading update whenever I finished a book or two in it. So, but now we're in April, and I'm starting the current reads again. And these reads go back to the first of the month that I'm showing in this one, and it's the first current reads where you'll see me with my new rating system also. With that said, let's get started talking about the books. The first book I did finish two books. The first one is The People Look Goodbye by John D. MacDonald. It's a first in the Travis McGee series. It was published in like 1963. Some of the material in it is dated to around to the 60s and stuff, but it's still a pretty good book overall. And it's a good introduction to Travis McGee, and I gave that book a rating of 4 arrows. I'll leave a link to my review post to my log down in the description box below. And then before I show the other one, because that's part of my project, PD Mysteries and Thrillers, I'll show you those after I show these others that I'm reading. I'm reading Jeffrey Deaver, Manhattan Is My Beat. I'm a good ways into this book. It's a pretty good book about like a 20-year-old girl or so from Ohio moved to New York City, who's an older guy that befriended her at the video store she worked at was killed just before she got there to pick up a tape from him to take back to the store. Well, she feels that the police are moving too slow in the investigation, so she decides she's going to investigate it herself. And I also just having some technical difficulties today, or it's more technical difficulties with myself, I could say. My brain's not line function right, it seems. Next one is Saving Max by Antoinette Van Hoyten. I might be slaughtering the name, but it's about a mother whose 16-year-old son has Asperger's, which is a higher level of autism, but he's been lashing out lately at people. He's been being more violent, and he discovered a journal of his where he was thinking about committing suicide, and she had talked to she lives in New York City, and his therapist saw it and stuff, and he said that he felt it was time that she took him to a place called Maitland Clinic in Plano, Iowa, which is in southern Iowa, a smaller town. And out there he gets more aggressive and violent, and and it keeps going from there. She keeps wanting to take him home, but they're wanting to keep him at the clinic. That's all I'm going to say about this one for now. And now I'm going to start talking about my books for the project, PD Mysteries and Thrillers. The book I did finish is Seven Keys to Baldpate by Earl Dare Biggers. This book was released in 1913, or originally published in 1913, and I'm going to give you, instead of really talking much about it here, I did a video, and that'll leave a link to and I did a review, and I rated this one 5 arrows. And the book I'm reading now for the Project PD Mysteries and Thrillers, I should explain. Project PD Mysteries and Thrillers is I'm trying to read all the mysteries and thrillers that are in the public domain, like Project Gutenberg and places like that. And so I'm constantly reading one of those at the same time as reading the other books. And the book I'm reading now, I'm doing it because I'm a member of the. I've been a member of the Public Domain Readers Facebook group for 2 years now. I was pretty active in it at first. I slacked up on it, but last month when I started this project, I just posted something in that group when I was showing what I was reading, and one of the admins for the group asked me if they could use it as a possible future yearly project for the group, and I said, hey, that's fine with me. And then then she asked if I'd join in with reading some material from the author that they're spotlighting for the month, which is Mary Roberts Reinhardt. I checked in to see what she wrote for Mysteries and Thrillers, and I'm reading her first one, which is Circular Staircase. I should mention too that admin that asked me to contact me about that, she said that she really likes reading mysteries, so that's one of the things that got her real interested in this project. Okay, and then after I'm close, like I said, I'm close to finishing Manhattan Is My Beat, and then I have Saving Max, but after them I'm going to start reading The Cathedral by Nelson DeMille. This is my first book I'm reading by him, but he's known for his thrillers and stuff. His thrillers and mysteries. And I noticed it's a standalone, so I figured, okay, I'll read it next. See what. Also, my wife and I have decided we're going to try and move into a bigger apartment when our lease is up in August. So I'm trying to read as many books as I can because a lot of them I read, if they're not certain artists or a 5-star read, even some 5-star reads, I'm going to be donating to a library for a library sale. They have it twice a year, and it's a small library, so it helps support the library. And then I'll also start The Firefly by P.T. Duderman, which looks like it's a political thriller. Another one that's on my shelf. And then the other one I'll be start reading is The Monkey's Retreat by Robert Craze. This is the first book in the Elvis Cole series. Liz Stewart had showed it in her March Mr. Madness wrap-up. That's one of the books she read. Among the books I have on my shelf that for what that it was just talked about is I have like the third book in the Elvis Cole series and two others from the series that, well, I want to read the books before them. Before that, I got this from Cloud Library. It's an ebook of it. Well, that's all I have for this time. But like I said, I'll post all the links to all this stuff down below. So until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.